Welcome everybody, it's Don Giannatti, lighting-essentials.com, project52prosystem.com, and my newly launched dongiannetti.com. Just my name, it's a new thing I'm doing. Check it out if you're interested in seeing what's new for Don Giannatti. Anyway, we're working on some still lifes in the still life group, and it was a fantastic class. Every time I run it, I'm just amazed at the creativity of the photographers, who many of which have never shot still life before. So one of the very first lessons that we attack in still life is what I call found junk. You have to go out and spend about 10 or 15 minutes outside along the highway or railroad tracks or industrial area or something and pick up junk, pieces of pipe, metal, whatever, just junk. Stuff you find, and then make an interesting still life out of it. So we're going to take a little trip here and look at some of the work of the students in that, and there's a few other as well, a few other pieces in here as well that I think you'll enjoy. But first up, it's a lovely shot by Elizabeth Povera, and it is stuff that she found in and around her garage, just little trinkets. She got stones and this cleaver thing, and we've got some sticks and nails, and she did a really interesting job laying it out. But what I really liked was the sunlight coming through the edge of her porch there that she was shooting on, and creating this very interesting light that cuts right through the middle of the image, leaving some of these things up in the light and some of them down. The interesting thing is, because of the way it's being illuminated, the nails all stay the same brightness. Do you see that? The nail is the same brightness here as it is down here. What changes is the background. And that's the difference between having far away light and close up flags. The sun, the sky, the open light of the sun is able to light up everything, because it's so big. It's off in the distance, but right up close to it here, we've got this shadow that's happening, and it's not affecting that sunlight, that open sky on the nails. I thought it was a very clever shot and really well done. Elizabeth is a new student over at Lighting Essentials in the Still Life class. Glad to have her there. Humberto Valdez, workman's boots. Found them. They are old, they are beat up, they are coming apart at the seams. He chose to use a real shallow depth of field here, and a black paper that's hung down. And what's really interesting about the paper that's hung down is it's curved right at the back of the shoes. So the light that's above it is actually being caught in that curve. Because even though it's black paper, it still has a little bit of shine to it. And when you curve that black paper up somewhere in the middle of that curve, it is going to reflect what it sees. And what it's seeing is that light that's hanging above it here. So we brought a little bit of this textury paper alive back there, and it just adds so much dimension to it. We got a light above, white cards on both sides, and a little white card up front. The shallow depth of field moves our focus right to these shoe ties, all the detail and the great rich texture of these shoes are revealed right there. I thought it was a really fun shot by Humberto Valdez, also a new student at Project 52. John McAllister was in my product class, and the product was makeup, cosmetics. To be exact, cosmetics. And as he was playing around with a different shot, he happened to glance down and notice what was happening on the set in front of him. He was still setting up his light, but he noticed that these lipsticks were casting shadows, and he thought, well, that's pretty interesting. So he started creating these skyscrapers, so to speak, to create the look of the shooting straight down on the lipstick and then getting these wonderful shadows up here that look like tall buildings. He changed it up a little bit for these gold capped ones. These are clear, as you can see, clear caps, etc. These are all gold, so the gold is reflecting back in the shadows. And that fill, that gold fill warming up the shadows is really very, very interesting. So we've got this sort of little cityscape back here. We've got all these interesting reflections happening from the kicker light that John has above this coming in and striking the sides of these gold things. You can make photographs out about anything, and Keith Emmons is another new name over at Lighting Essentials and our classes. And Keith found this avocado that had been left in the fridge for, well, I'm going to say a little too long. Put it on this plastic wrap paper that's very interesting. Single light from the side, fill from this side, and what would normally be a very weird and strange and ugly piece of garbage is transformed into something that's pretty interesting. Now, it's still a piece of garbage, but the photograph is far better than the subject, if you get my drift. The subject's just an old rotting avocado, but the photograph with the texture in the seed here almost looks otherworldly, doesn't it? And this little high bright spot here that he achieved, all the detail along here. It's really a lovely photograph. It's by Keith Evans. Rose Smith went a different route with her makeup, and using mirrors and black tiles and things created a very interesting, I think very high-end upscale product shot that, in a way that I haven't seen it done very often. I'm always on the lookout for something new. It's a brilliant little shot. It's so clean. Look at this, the mirror here picking up the black and kicking it back, making it blue. All of this is so, we got the edge light here, the light on the top of the lipstick here, but it doesn't appear here because it's in the reflection. It's really fun, really well thought out and very clever still life by Rose Smith. Barbara Sherman, shooting for our pizza class. That's right, folks, we shot pizza because pizza. She found a recipe for peas pizza and initially shot the whole pizza, and it just was too much green. So she started chopping it up and then realized that the background she had didn't work either, and she went with something much softer. This allows the peas, the green of the peas, to really pop. We've got this beautiful soft white wood, the green of these mint leaves coming over here, pulling this up, and then the scoop itself going blue. This is partially natural light and partially fill card, and it's really, really a lovely shot. I'm not sure it sold me on pea pizza, but it's, what the heck, it's still a lovely shot from Barb Sherman. Daniel Sigg said, hey, pepperoni pizza, let's get in. Daniel is a photographer in Minnesota. Daniel's style is minimalism. He really likes to find the angle, the thing, very clean photography, and he pulled this hot pizza out of the oven, knew exactly what he wanted to do, got it down in front of the camera and shot it. This pizza is still bubbling and doing all its little hot pizza things, and it's really a great shot. One big softbox over the top, and we nailed it here. Great shot by Daniel Sigg. And Steph Spencer, a photographer in southern Arizona, looking to build a portfolio for women's accessories, men's accessories, etc., but using her ranch as a shooting space, did this piece for one of our assignments at Project 52, which was male or female fashion accessories, and she shot this great purse late in the day. Big gold reflector on this side, brought in tight, shallow depth of field. We see this purse looks great. This is all the leather looks fantastic. The metal looks fantastic. You can see the handle. It looks really, really good. Scarf tied, some aviator sunglasses over here, and the shot looks fantastic. And this is something she's working towards her style. She may not live in New York, but then if people want stuff shot in the rugged Southwest, well, she's got a ranch to shoot it on. So really great stuff from Stephanie Spencer down south. Let's go back up. Daniel Sig's iconic shot of pepperoni pizza. It's pepperoni and it's pizza. Barb Sherman P Pizza. Rose Smith's great little lipstick thing. Keith Emmons' dead and dying avocado. John McAllister shooting different types of cosmetics and creating very interesting views with them. The Old Shoes by Humberto and Elizabeth's Found Object Shot. So I'm glad you came along for this thing. It's something I like to do, break them down, let you see what the photographers are thinking and putting it all together. And I'll see you next time. Oh, by the way, if you like my content, hit the subscribe button, and that way you'll get notified every time I put something up. I try to put up stuff that you'll like. I try to put up stuff that educates. I try to put up stuff that's real. I don't do a lot of bullshit stuff, and I'm not going to put up a video that I don't think is interesting just to put it up. So hit the subscribe button. I'll see you on the downside. Take care, folks. Next time.